Hello, family. So, today I just wanted to talk about the movie Doctor Sleep. I thought it was very interesting in a metaphysical type of way. It had a lot of metaphysical stuff in it, a lot of symbolism, and it was overall a pretty good movie. It was very long, very long. I went to see it. I'm late because I just went to go see it this past Saturday, and my boyfriend he didn't get it. He didn't get it at all. He was just like, "What the hell was going on?" And I was in it like loving it because I love all the spiritual, metaphysical stuff. I love all that. I love stuff like that because I'm so spiritual. So I was just in heaven, and I didn't even expect half the stuff to be going on that was going on. But so this is a spoiler alert. Like they say, if you haven't seen Doctor Sleep, you don't want to watch this video. You might want to wait because I'm about to spill all the beans on the movie Doctor Sleep. So, all right, you had enough time to click off. So, the movie started out with a reminder of the movie The Shining. So, in The Shining, you had the family, you had the husband, the wife, and the son. And, it was a lot of crazy stuff going on in the hotel they were in. I think they were vacationing or something. They were in the hotel, and the hotel was filled with a lot of deep, dark spirits. And so they went back to that real quick, but they didn't show, like, the father. Pretty much the dad was gone at at that point. So it was more like after they left the hotel. So that's how the movie pretty much started. And then it went into showing the mother with the son afterwards. The son was still feeling things, and he was seeing spirits still, seeing those evil spirits. The lady in the tub, he was scared to go to the restroom because the lady in the tub was in there, behind the shower curtain, pulling the shower curtain back, if you remember The Shining. So it was one part in there where he saw her. He woke up out of the middle of his sleep in the middle of the night, and he was headed to the restroom, and then he stood in the hallway, and he saw the lady's shadow behind the curtain, the plastic shower curtain. And then she pulled the curtain open and peeked the head out and stood up, and if you remember The Shining, you remember that part. It was just crazy. So he saw that, and he just stood there and peed on himself, and then his mom came up and put him in the bed. So pretty much after that, you could pretty much insinuate that he's probably been seeing this for a long time and going through these things for a long time, because the mom seemed real concerned. So after that, I think the boy name was Danny. So after that, Danny could see everything. He could see a lot of different spirits. He gained a lot of powers where he could hear what you're thinking, or even sense how you feel, and even not read your mind. He could even, I'm not sure what it's called when, say, you're at your house and I'm here, and I like close my eyes and I think of something, and then you hear it. That's what he was able to do. So then it showed this guy, this black guy. I think he was the guy who was coming to save them from in The Shining, in the movie The Shining, it was a black guy who went through the storm went all the way up to the hotel in the snow, in the blizzard, and he was going there to check on them. I believe he was supposed to be, or the black guy that was in the movie Doctor Sleep that came to Danny, I think that was supposed to be that guy. Almost like he was the savior type, or more like the powerful dark energy that had the key to figuring all the mess out. Even though in The Shining he died pretty quick. But in this movie, the guy kind of resembled him. So the guy, of course, he was dead, so he was a spirit. He came to Danny when Danny was out with his mom doing some shopping, and Danny was sitting on the park, and it was this one sitting in the park, and it was this one scene in the movie where Danny was sitting on the bench, and the black guy was sitting there next to him, and they were having a whole conversation about how Danny keeps seeing the spirits, and the guy told him to put them in a box. He said, it'll be best for you to think of it as when you're seeing them, putting them in the box, closing the box, locking the box, so that, they're trapped in your mind. Pretty much you'll know that they're in that box, they trapped, they can't come back out, so then they can't get to you, So he learned that, and then he was good, and he grew up to be an old man. Well, not an old man. He grew up, and I think he probably was about late 30s maybe. So later on, he's about in his late 30s, he ended up being an alcoholic, I guess, because of, there has to be a traumatic situation where you lose your dad that way, and then his mom died, I think, when he was like 22 or so. So, he was alone. He have all these abilities, and he doesn't know what to do with them. So he was an alcoholic, and he had slept with some girl he met at a bar, and she was a drug addict. So I think she stole his money to get drugs because he saw drugs there. No, his money was missing after a night of partying. So he woke up. That's a real funny situation. I'm not even going to say that part. I'll leave that for the ones who haven't seen the movie. I don't want to tell everything, but that was real. It was kind of funny what happened once he woke up from a night of partying. But so he looked in the girl wallet, and she had some money, so he was going to steal her money. And then the black guy came, just appeared and was like, "Don't take her money." And he was like, "But she took mine." But he's a spirit, and that was kind of funny. But anyway, so he ended up, I think he took the money. They didn't show whether or not he left the money or not, but I really think he took the money because he didn't have any. And then the next scene was him on this bus, and he rode on this bus to another city. And once he got to the city, as soon as he got off the bus, this other man came to him, approached him, and was like, "I want to help you out," pretty much. So the guy, not knowing him, he took him to this place where he paid 2 weeks rent for him, more like a boarding house. So and he told the lady who rent the rooms out that he would vouch for him. And so the lady said that no drinking or partying in the room, and the payment is due every week or whatever. And he was like, "Well, I don't party." And she was like, "That's what the last person said who had the room." And he messed up the whole room. And she said he even painted the wall in the chalkboard paint and had writing all over the wall. So she said she left the chalkboard paint on the wall. So the wall, so okay, then then he was sitting on the bed or he fell asleep. I can't remember. But or he might have been coming back from work because the guy that he met once he got off the bus, he also had work that he could do to help get some money in his pocket and pay his rent. So he went working with him, and I think he came back and saw writing on the wall, and it said hello, and he wrote hi, and then he went to sleep. And then communication kept happening like that, back and forth, where he would wake up, it'll be some words on the wall, and then he would just respond back by writing on the wall. So eventually we found out that it was the young black girl. What was her name? What was her name? I can't remember her name, but she was a very beautiful girl. She reminded me of the girl from Colombiana. That movie Colombiana, that real pretty Spanish girl. She reminded me of her. But so she had the same powers that Danny had, but her powers was like way better than his, and she was way younger than him because she was like 12 or 13 years old. So what ended up happening was, come to find out, is more people out there in their world with that same type of psychic ability who know how to use it like to the umpteenth power. So it was this one lady who was in charge of everything. And I should have wrote their names down. I can't remember the lady name. What's her name? Sarah, Sally, something. I don't know. Start with an S. Anyway, she was very powerful. She had the ability to meditate and close her eyes, meditate, and find her next victim. Her victims were people who had the same type of psychic ability that could do things with their mind, control people with their minds, and any type of power to that magnitude. So she could just sit and meditate and find exactly where they were at, and they were pretty much like gypsies. Her whole crew was pretty much like a gang of gypsies, and they would just travel everywhere, find those people with those psychic abilities, and then they would torture them. And while they would torture them, they called it steam. While they would torture the people, steam would come out of their mouths, and everyone in all the gypsies, they're not gypsies, but they look like gypsies, and they lived like gypsies. All the gypsies would suck in the steam from their mouth. Like, say, this one young boy they killed, the lady stabbed him in the chest, and the steam was just coming from out his mouth, and everyone was just sucking it in. It was like, I mean, it was so crazy. But so, and then they would even bottle it up because they needed that steam to live. So they found this one girl, and they were watching her, and she was in a movie theater, and she was online, I guess messaging this older guy who liked messing with children, young girls. So he got to the movie theater, and he was looking at her, and they met in like the theater itself. They met, and he was just like, oh, okay. Oh, he was like, you look much older. And she was like, he was like, you look younger. And I think she was like, you look much older. And that's when you knew what type of situation it was by their conversation. You knew it was the older guy she probably met online, and he wanted a young girl. So she, had that appearance of a young girl She had that look going, so he was sitting there. He was happy. So he put his hand on her leg, and she was like, "You look sleepy. Sleep." And then he just fell asleep like that, and it was like, "Oh shit. Okay." So the lady, Sarah or Sally, I forgot her name, but it started with an S. She was the baddest shit until the black girl came along. But message, sorry. But yeah. So her and her man, or her assistant, put it that way, they were sitting there in the movie theater because they were already following the young girl. So they saw what she was doing there, and they was just so amazed. They was like, "Oh my goodness, oh wow, she really has the gift." So they followed her out of the theater, and they kidnapped her, took her back to their camp, and once she woke up, they pretty much offered her life. But they never said everlasting life. They didn't say eternal life. They offered her youth. That's what it was. A youthful, long life. Didn't say eternal life. Didn't give her a time frame and say how many years. They just offered her more years, which turned out not to be good. Anyway, so they had a whole ceremony where they took the steam. No. Where they used the steam that was in one of the canisters, because they take the steam from the person and suck it in, and then put it in a canister to preserve it, so that they'll have it to live off of later. Almost like where with the vampires, how you have the vampires, and the vampires, they store blood so they can have the blood later on, because that's how they eat, or that's how they feed. So they took one of the canisters and put the steam into her, and she woke up, and she was like, "You said it wouldn't hurt." And the lady was like, "I never said it wouldn't hurt." And so this was supposed to give her longer life, right? She should ask some questions. But anyway, it it wasn't, she had no choice but to take the offer anyway, because they had done kidnapped her, so they could do whatever they wanted to do at this point. So they took her, and you know how powerful, she was, which I seriously think once they take the steam, or once they put that steam in you, I think that it pretty much take all your power away. But anyway, she still did have power, but it probably wasn't as strong. Anyway, because later on, the black girl, she had the ability to see everything that was going on, and to hear people who have that power to read minds, and that gift. She had the power to read everybody's mind. And especially the ones who had a gift like she had. She could hear them from far away. So she told, she told Danny through the wall, because, they were communicating through the wall. So he didn't know who she was, because they were in two different places. He was here, she was there, and she was so powerful. She was communicating by her words would appear on the wall. So, and then she can read the words that he was putting on the wall somehow. I don't know what kind of energy they had going on, but it was so amazing. It was weird, and it was long as hell, because the movie was like 2.5 hours. But it was real good, and I'm telling what I know, but I really, after this, I'm gonna go and listen to other people who reviewed the movie, and find out some more details, because it's always something you miss in it. So I want someone else to tell me. I want to hear someone else's opinion about what was going on in the movie. But okay, so to wrap it up, so the black girl, I forgot her name. Oh, Abra. That's her name. The black girl, her name was Abra. She grew up loving magic. For some reason, her parents named her Abra, like abracadabra, and she loved magic. And so Abra ended up seeing the boy, seeing the lady, the powerful lady, and her crew killing the young boy, and she told Danny, this all the same movie that's like The Shining now. This is Dark to Sleep. 2.5 hours on. So she went to go. She's so powerful. She knew exactly where Danny was at. She got on that same bus he got on and went to that same town he was at and walked up on him. He didn't know who she was. And he was like, this doesn't look good because I'm an older man and you're a young girl and it don't look good. And she was just like, well, you my Uncle Danny. Because her mom was white and her dad was black. So he could have been her uncle. So it's believable. Hello?
This is a call from Spring Valley.
Yeah, so sorry about that. I had a phone call. But so yeah, so she said, we'll just say you're my uncle. So she was explaining everything that she was seeing to him, and she told him that she needed help. So eventually he ended up helping. He took the guy who gave him the job and the place to stay with him to go see her to find out the exact details of what was going on and to see how they could help. So they end up working together to get the powerful lady, right? So they want to trap her. So Danny was like, yeah, I got a way to trap her, to get her. I think I know how I could do it. So he was like, I know she's following us or she sees us. So he was like, she'll follow us to the place that I want her to go because I know the spirits there just take over her. Like, she can't be more powerful than them. So she ended up following them, and they end up going to that hotel that was in The Shining where Danny, his mom, and his dad was at. And so, remember the bartender from the movie The Shining? Well, the bartender ended up being his dad. And, they had a little conversation or whatever, but it was a little awkward because, yeah, it was weird, but very interesting. So the lady came there and eventually they killed her. Danny died and Abra lived on with her mom. Yep. And that's it. Danny died, but he became a spirit. So her Abra father ended up dying in the process. I'll let you figure out how that happened. I'll let you find that out by watching the movie. But so her mom at the end of the movie asked, because Abra was so powerful ever since she was a child. So her parents, they were afraid to like question her about her ability. So they pretty much just let her do her thing. And that was it. They pretty much was just like, are you okay? Is everything okay? And then she'd be like, oh, yes, I'm okay. And then they would just move on and act like it wasn't nothing big. But so the mom came in Abra's room at the end of all this, and she was just like, she didn't say anything, but Abra could read her mind, and she knew she wanted to know how was Dad on the other side because he was dead at this point. And Abra was like, excuse me. Abra said, well, he's fine. You want to know how Dad is doing? He's fine. He's safe. She said, you don't really die. You still move on. And I thought that was so interesting to know because I seriously feel that way. I don't feel like, I'm not traditional. I'm not religious. So I don't believe in the religion, or heaven or hell. So I'm save that for another video. But feeling energies and so the steam, I took it as the energies, stealing the energies from the bodies. You know how you can be energy stealers. Like, you could be having a great day and then someone come up to you and they in a bad mood, you know, and then all of a sudden they leave and you be like, well, why this, why that? Now you done turn grouchy because their negative energy done came upon you. But yeah, so I think the steam was pretty much like energy, like them stealing the energy. It built them up. It kept them alive. So they didn't. So energy stealers. I could make a whole video about energy stealers. Like, the movie was so deep. It was very deep, and like I said, I know I'm missing all the good stuff, like, or terms and names for all the good stuff that was used in the movie, but please go see it and let me know what you think about it in the comment section. And I don't know if you really understood what was going on in the movie to the point where you have the words and the names for everything that was going on, then maybe we could do a video together. So yes, leave a review, a comment, and let me know what you think, and if you've seen the movie, of course, and then we could talk later.